What if the problem isn't just the pain itself? There's an idea in acceptance and commitment therapy, or ACT, that I think is really interesting. We all experience psychological pain, anxiety, worry, sadness, grief, shame, fear. And sometimes, quite understandably, we just want it to stop. But sometimes something else happens. The pain starts to affect what we're able to do with our lives. Maybe you're anxious, so you stop going places you'd like to go. Maybe you're worried about getting something wrong, so you keep putting it off. Maybe you're struggling with low mood, so you withdraw from people. Maybe you're afraid of being judged, so you don't say what you really think. And now there's this original pain, and the pain of the life you're not living because you're trying so hard not to feel it. Pain on top of pain, as the originator of ACT, Steve Hayes, describes it. So here's something you could try. Imagine just for a moment that tomorrow you woke up and the difficult thing you've been struggling with wasn't getting in the way anymore. Not that your whole life was suddenly perfect. Just imagine that this particular struggle wasn't stopping you. What would you do? Where would you go? Who would you spend time with? What might you say? What would you start doing? What would you move towards? And that question can tell us something really important, because underneath the anxiety, the worry, the shame or the fear, there may be something that matters to you. Connection, adventure, creativity, family, love, learning, freedom, being the person you want to be. And perhaps the question isn't, how do I get rid of this feeling? Perhaps it's, what matters to me here, and what would moving towards it look like? And that's something we get curious about in our counselling sessions, not by trying to force difficult thoughts and feelings away, but by slowing things down and noticing what's happening, what you're doing when those feelings show up, what you're trying to move away from, what matters underneath it all. And then together exploring what a small step towards that might look like in your actual life. Because values-based action isn't about suddenly becoming fearless or having everything figured out. Sometimes it's much smaller than that. It's the conversation you've been avoiding, the boundary you've been thinking about, the thing you've been putting off, the relationship you want to invest in, the life you've been waiting to feel ready to live. So if you're wondering what that might look like for you, you don't need to know the answer before you come to counselling. That's exactly the sort of thing we can explore together. We start with curiosity.